Hello and welcome to the Spoils of Pandaria fight in the Underhold wing of LFR. Instead of paving our roads and fixing all the potholes in Orgrimmar, Garrosh has been buying up loads of horrible creatures and artifacts, which he may just have stolen, in which case that is totally okay. This fight is going to be tricky in LFR as the raid needs to split into two groups, one tank on each side, an even amount of healers, and a good spread of DPS. You'll also want combat reses and bloodlust on both sides as well. This fight will depend heavily on the tanks as they need to pull enough at a time for the group to finish the area within the time limit, but not too much so that the group dies. There are 4 rooms in total. Each group will have its 2 rooms to handle, one at a time. There are crates in all the rooms and there are 2 types of rooms, Mogu and Manted. The group starting on the right hand side will have Mogu first, the group starting on the upper left will have Manted first. In order to complete a room, the tank will need to open boxes and tank the adds that come out. DPS will need to kill the adds from those boxes, and killing the adds grants energy. At 50 energy you can click the lever to enter the next room, or if it is the final room, you can click it to finish up your side completely. There are 3 types of crates, large, medium and small. Killing the adds from a large crate will grant 14 energy, medium will grant 4, and small will give 1. It's up to the tanks as to how they want to handle this, but generally it's fastest to take both large, all the mediums, and then a few smalls to finish up anything remaining. While fighting a large add, you can probably open up a few little ones as well for DPS to nuke down. In the end, it's for the tank to judge. I won't talk about the panda crates, which are small ones with a paw print on them, because when I did this on LFR, they could not be opened, so they can just be ignored. Let's go through all the adds then and what they do, starting with the Mogu crates. The large Mogu crates will always give a giant Mogu. Their abilities are identical apart from the damage type, which will be nature or fire or shadow and so on. It doesn't really matter. The giant Mogu will deal AoE damage, so healers get ready for some AoE healing. The giant Mogu will constantly summon statue adds. They cannot be tanked and will run to random places and start casting frontal cone attacks. Avoid the frontal cone attacks, and DPS should nuke them down, as each statue buffs the boss with 5% more damage per statue, and they will stay until killed. The big Mogu also needs to be focused down fairly quickly, otherwise he will just spawn more and more statues. The medium crates have a random chance of 2 different ones. The modified Anima Golem and the Mogu Shadow Ritualist. If you get the Golem, you should probably avoid opening another until it dies. It will use Matter Scramble, which creates red spotlights on the ground. 1 player needs to stand in each spotlight. After a while they will just swap places. If nobody is in them, it deals a whack of damage to everyone. It also casts another ability, which plops down a puddle of red ick. Any of the adds that stand in it will get healed for a massive amount per second, so keep moving the golem and keep everything out of the red stuff on the floor. The Mogu Ritualist will spawn with a phylactery, which he shares a health pool with, so hitting either one will damage the Ritualist. He will put down runes on the ground, which buffs any adds that stand on it, so make sure to not ever let anything stand on those runes. Interrupt the casts of forbidden magic to move him. Healers will have to dispel torment every so often to reset the damage. Don't spam dispel it because it will just jump each time. Once the damage gets high, then you can dispel to reset it. Once the ritualist dies, the dots go away. The small Mogu crate has 3 types of little guys. Animated Stone Mogu, which casts a dispellable stacking slow that can also be interrupted, and Earthen Shard, which can be interrupted and deals a weak amount of damage. Burial Urns do not need to be tanked and just spawn sparks of life until killed. The sparks deal AoE damage to anyone near them, and when killed also deal damage to anyone near them. Kill the urn and then ranged can kill the sparks. The other crates will have a whole bunch of stone dog things. They're very weak and can be AoE'd down easily. They apply a stacking debuff on the tank, but they should not stay alive long enough for it to get out of hand. And then you have the Manted side. The large Manted crate will summon a giant Manted who will do a little bit of constant AoE damage, but their main ability is Set to Blow, which he will use on random players. This will put a debuff with several stacks on a random player. Each stack represents 1 bomb. The player should run to the edge of the room or the previous room and use their extra action button to plop the bombs down at their feet and out of everyone's way. The bombs on the floor need to be avoided until they disappear. Medium manted crates will either spawn a priest or a wind wielder. The priest will call down weak adds that the tank should pick up aggro on, and it will use residue, which heals its allies for a decent amount. This can be dispelled. The healing is split among the adds, so feel free to pull more while this is up. The wind wielder is more dangerous by far. It will put a dispellable buff on adds, increasing their damage, and it summons tornadoes that need to be avoided because they really hurt. The small crate has 3 random things. The Bombardier, which will deal damage to random players and create white lines of wind on the ground, stay spread out while this is up, and avoid the lines. The Amber Encased add, which will put down gunk on the ground, which you should stay away from because it hurts. The War Caller will occasionally enrage, dealing a lot more damage and putting a stacking armor debuff on the tank. Be careful with these adds because the tank damage can increase very quickly while they're up. Bloodlust can be used whenever, really, particularly if your group is having trouble with the timer. To the side there is a lift hook which can be used if you need to send players across to the other group. Once you've completed both rooms and clicked both levers, that's it, you win, and congratulations on your bag of gold! For more guides, remember to subscribe and check the description for playlists. Thanks for watching, good luck, and have fun.